only 10% of people ever hit 10,000 subscribers.
Yeah, so if you've got more than 10,000 YouTube subscribers, you are in the top 10% of YouTube channels in the world, which is mind-blowing because you speak to any kid at high school and said, I've got 11,000 subscribers, like, oh, well, this YouTuber's got 10 million, this YouTuber's got 1 million. They don't realize that they are unicorns. The majority of YouTube channels, the vast majority, never hit 10,000. So if you've got 1,000 YouTube subscribers, you're probably in the top 50% on YouTube at all.
Right, what's going on? Welcome back to another video and another episode in the How to Become a YouTuber series. For those that are new here, my name is Josh Gudgeon. I'm a filmmaker, videographer, content creator from the north of England. And in this series, I sit down with other creators from literally around the world and talk about their YouTube journey and how they got to where they are now. In this episode, we're blessed with some absolute YouTube royalty. As much as he hates to admit it, he is a YouTuber.
I'm not a YouTuber, I'm a businessman that's on YouTube.
This week, we're talking to Mike Winnet. Mike is best known for exposing the online entrepreneurs, or the contrepreneurs as he would call them, that are selling disingenuous and awful courses to unwilling and vulnerable victims. Just some of his achievements. To date, he's put over £500,000 into exposing all these get-rich-quick schemes. He's gone through a full round of crypto mining, so he set up crypto rigs in his office. He ran them for a year, got sold the dream by this dude, only to find out that he couldn't even cover the electricity bill. Not only that, he managed to bag himself an Amazon bestseller. He even got the thing trending on the #1 page. And guess what? It was a blank book. So he exposed all of these #1 bestseller gurus that you see across LinkedIn. And finally, he managed to bag himself a meeting with Gary Vee in his New York office. I'm a huge fan of Mike's work and what they're trying to do over at IAM Productions. He's got a great team behind him. You saw in the videos that were released in December that we went over there and filmed a bit more content with them. But this is an extended version, a sit down with Mike Winnet. It's full of some absolute gems, so I do hope you enjoy it. And if you're new here, subscribe to the channel. But without further ado, let's get straight into the interview.
I am Mike Winnet. I had a business that I sold, and selling that business, I then went to a lot of get-rich-quick events because I wanted to know what to do with my money that I just made. And through going to those events, I started to see gurus telling me that I'd done it the wrong way by working hard, designing a product, taking it to market, growing and scaling a business and selling a business. I could have earned a lot more money from working from a laptop anywhere in the world, 4 hours a week, drop shipping or cryptocurrency or affiliate marketing. So I just thought, why don't I invest some money into those things and just document my journey? So a professional get-rich-quick ad clicker is probably the best way to describe what I do for a living.
It's really funny. Like, I'm a massive fan of your work. I think I got put onto the Contrepreneur formula probably earlier on in this year, maybe at the end of last year. And as far as like this series goes of how to become a YouTuber, you weren't, I guess, intending to be a YouTuber, but because of how viral that content was. So was that the first piece of content you released on your channel, the Contrepreneur formula? You did a little bits of LinkedIn. Yeah,
so LinkedIn was where I used to put content, and it was because content got banned from LinkedIn. So some of the things I was talking about, you know, like why is everyone a #1? You know, they changed the bio to #1 whatever in the world, and then they become #1. It was just bullshit. You know, social media bullshit. Everyone was a business guru. They're sat there on the kitchen table telling you how to scale a business to £10 million. #1 wealth coach, #1 business coach. And I just thought LinkedIn was a bit of a shit show for those types of people. So I used to parody their content on LinkedIn, and it used to do that sort of decent views on LinkedIn. Some posts would get like between 300,000 to 1 million views on just written posts, no video, nothing. But it did upset some of the people that felt like I was sort of poking fun at them. So I would get shadow banned or have content removed from LinkedIn quite regularly. So to stop my videos being removed from LinkedIn, and they were just stupid ones, I was filming on my mobile.
Yeah.
I just put them on a YouTube channel. And I actually started making cartoons, which was the cringiest, worst humble brag of the week that I found on LinkedIn.
I saw that, yeah.
I would just animate them into like a 1-minute sort of cartoon, and then I'd put that on the YouTube channel. And I sort of became an accidental YouTuber in the sense that of my 4th or 5th video, Pot of Ron got about 20,000 views. And then for whatever reason, I don't know what happened to the video. It got picked up by the algorithm or something. It started to do 10,000 views a day, and I was getting 1,000 new subscribers every day for like a 2-week period.
Wow.
Just this one video just went through the roof, and then from there on, it was just constant growth, I suppose. It slowed down a lot since them days, but it was just like my 4th or 5th video just sort of popped.
So I've seen those videos, like the humble brag video, all them like you said, really basic videos.
Yeah.
How long after that did you release sort of your newer content, so like the professional polished content that you're making now? So the one, obviously the Entrepreneur Formula, and ended up in Gary V's office. Like, how long after that was it when you started your regular uploads, or was it continuous?
So again, it was like I don't do YouTube, like in a sense. I'm not a YouTuber in that sense. Like I've got a real business that I work in sort of every day.
Yeah.
YouTube was kind of just like we'd do one release a week. Sometimes it'd be 2 weeks, sometimes it'd be 3 weeks. It wasn't. I wasn't a slave to I need to release content, because I was making content for me. So I was just documenting what I was doing and a place to put it, and then I'd refer to it on LinkedIn, really. So I was trying to take traffic from LinkedIn to YouTube, but how I ended up in Gary V's office in terms of the time frame, I'd say maybe I realised that I couldn't monetize a YouTube channel without, I don't even know if it's the same now, is it 4,000 watch hours
still
and 1,000 subs? So, and I was only doing 1-minute videos and 2-minute videos, so I thought it's going to be a long ass way to get to 4,000 watch hours, so I needed some long form content. So I basically picked 3 of my favourite people on LinkedIn, one in marketing, one in sales, and one in recruitment, to do sort of like a filmed podcast. And I planned to do 40-minute videos, because I thought if I get enough people to watch them, that would help me hit my watch time, and then I could monetize the channel to see if what some of the gurus said, how to monetize a YouTube channel, actually worked, and if you could do it. But I'd say probably 3 months, probably, from when I made my first video to when I thought, like, oh, do you know what, there might be something in this, I might do it properly. But obviously I've got people that work here in the business, because we make content as a business. So
it's funny that you went from driving traffic from LinkedIn to YouTube, whereas like from my standpoint, I tried to go the opposite way. You know, I want my YouTube content to feed my marketing for the business, whereas you've gone. Is that an intention for your?
No, again. So I always think I've probably done this the wrong way around. So I built an audience and a crowd. Like my audience on LinkedIn is bigger than my YouTube audience. So I'm probably best well known as like a proper dick thing to say, but I was more known or better known, or I was best known on LinkedIn as being like the anti-guru, as in like the demotivational speaker, that type of character. And I was just trying to take traffic from LinkedIn to YouTube, just in case my LinkedIn profile got shut down, which had been threatened a few times. So it's just, here's another place you can find me if I'm not on LinkedIn anymore. And now I've got a different crowd on YouTube, as some of the contents appeal to a different demographic that actually don't know anything about my real businesses. So again, like going on to the YouTube thing, some of the criticisms and comments I get on YouTube, it's funny because they don't know the other side to what I do, like actually having a real business and investing in real things and selling my old business and stuff like that.
It's funny because yours is a different reason. So those that will have followed this series that I've been making, and then those that we have spoken to previously, they've gone to YouTube as their full-time, to potentially take that as their full-time income or their full-time project. And what a lot of people don't realise is how underwhelming it is, like from a monetary standpoint. Like the earnings of YouTubers it's only in the top 1% that they earn the millions and billions that you see, you know, flashing about. But am I right thinking that only 10% of people ever hit 10,000 subscribers?
Yeah, so if you've got more than 10,000 YouTube subscribers, you are in the top 10% of YouTube channels in the world, which is mind-blowing, because you speak to any kid at high school and said, I've got 11,000 subscribers, like, oh, well, this YouTuber's got 10 million, this YouTuber's got 1 million. They don't realise that they are unicorns. The majority of YouTube channels, the vast majority, never hit 10,000. So if you've got 1,000 YouTube subscribers, you're probably in the top 50% on YouTube at all. It's mad, really. And I think a lot of people as well that don't know, obviously you know because you've got a YouTube channel, I think people think that views means money or subscribers mean money. And it's not a direct correlation between how many views you get is how much money you make, or how many subscribers you've got. There are massive YouTubers, as in if you class size by number of subscribers, that make far less money per month on YouTube than someone with 20,000 or 30,000 subscribers. like it's a massive misconception that if you've got millions and millions of views, you're going to make millions and millions of pounds.
Yeah, I've got a friend he runs a channel called Dies in Every Films Customs. He makes custom knives and he shows the build and stuff like that. He's got, I think, 600,000 subscribers now, but because of the type of content as well, he only makes like $200 or $300 a month.
Yeah.
Whereas a normal channel of that size, like pulling 500,000 views per video, I'd be making a lot of money. But because of the niche that he's in, it's basically stumped now. He's stuck.
Yeah, well, an example of that on my own channel. So I've recently done a video about Forex traders and how they pitch their product and sell their product to their audience. Part of the Entrepreneur series, Entrepreneur Bingo series, which has been quite popular for our channel. That is one of our least viewed videos. It's about 40,000 views, but it's generated more revenue than some of our videos that have got 10 times that are around 300, 400,000 views. And that's kind of what I mean. Like this video has got 10 times less views, but it's made more money. But it's because what advertisers will pay to advertise on that video is more.
Yeah.
It's competitive. It's a demographic, in theory, who would be watching a Forex video. You would imagine it's somebody that wants to invest and make money, so they've probably got money. So there's all these things that people don't consider that actually impact on how much revenue you can make.
Would you recommend starting a YouTube channel? Because like this series that I've followed up until this point, up until this interview, has been about people that wanted to become YouTubers, that want to start a channel and have actually like succeeded and got into that top 10% or 5%. Would you recommend people to start a YouTube channel?
To be honest, it's a strange one, really. So I like to think that I'm a businessman that's on YouTube.
Yeah.
I'd say it probably makes more sense to start a business that's away from YouTube if you can. There's no point being known and people having this opinion of you and it not making money. I always think YouTube brings enough shit, or a certain amount of shit, to your life. If the money doesn't justify it, there is no point doing it. Because you can write off the bad stuff if you go, well, at least I make 10 grand or 20 grand or 100 grand a month. That's how I justify anything in sort of life. That's how I justify anything in business. But YouTube, I don't think the payoff is good enough in my mind. Like, I can't wait to not be on YouTube. At the moment, it benefits me for what I'm doing. And I've got a long-term plan, but I don't want to be a slave to putting up videos every week or 2 videos a week or whatever. You know, I can sort of take it or leave it. So I would say YouTube shouldn't be what you're going to go all in on. Ideally, because it's a full-time job. And I'll say this now, so I think this month, and I've been on there 2 years now, and we're on like close to 70,000 subscribers. This is the first month where from AdSense we've broke $3,000 in a month.
$3,000.
£3,000.
Oh, £3,000, right?
Yeah, it's like
cool.
About £3,400 it was last month. Now people might go, oh, £3,400, but I've got to take a wage from that. I've got all the equipment. I've got a video editor that does it. We've got someone that films all that content. So when you take that out, it's less money than what I would have got if I just worked in an office job.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And in that £3,500, you're getting loads of shit in your comments. Everyone's an expert on what you're doing. Grief. You can get your content will be taken down, especially what I do, like copyright strikes or get legal letters and different types of things like that. So is it worth the hassle? I don't know. I mean, I'm talking just AdSense there.
Yeah.
I also, because I've got the business audience from LinkedIn, do get decent sponsorship deals because in theory, when you do a sponsorship deal with me on my channel, because we promote that on LinkedIn as well to a bigger audience, they're almost getting double value. So we do all right on sponsorship. We do between like maybe £500 to £2,000 an episode, an upload in sponsorship money.
Yeah.
But again, everyone will think, oh, that's loads of money. But that funds a team to do all this work. It's not money straight in my pocket.
Yeah, I mean, I'll overlay, as we're talking now, I'll overlay the behind the scenes of your studio, the infrastructure. So like this studio as an example, plus your team, like really talented people, you know, like Jack and Dan that can animate, obviously all the management team. It's the rent on this place, you know, like people don't see that. And that's the mad part, like the infrastructure it takes to just put a video out every week.
Well, just to have the office without any desks, any computers, any equipment, without us filming, paying any wages, it's like £3,000 a month, just the office. And but obviously we run our real businesses from here as well. Then we've got everyone's wages. We've got even now we've got Chris doing live edits on the cameras. Just this bit that we're sat in now, which is the podcast studio, because we run people's podcasts. We produce podcasts as well as the day job. Yeah. This was close on maybe 25 grand's worth of kit has just gone into just this room that we're sat in now. And then we've got everything that's out there, all the computers, all the cameras, all the lighting, paying licenses for people to use Premiere and stuff like that. So there's all things like that where people don't consider. And that's how come really, if you're a YouTuber in your bedroom, you're probably not going to get to 3.5 grand in 2 years, is the most likely outcome. So I would say don't quit your day job to become a full-time YouTuber. Do it as a sort of passion project. What it has been good for is networking. I hate networking. I hate having to talk to other business people. I hate having to meet people sort of in those dick measuring contests, like, oh, so how much business have you generated this month? But since having a YouTube channel, it's made people that possibly I wouldn't have had access to or been able to speak to, and you'll probably know this yourself, because there's something in it for them, in the sense that they get a certain level of exposure with your audience. Like, when are you going to get... so I've recently had Russell Kane, had an interview with him. I've had Ollie Ollerton, who's from the SBS and Who Dares Wins. Dan Priestley, I know you know Dan Priestley. You're probably not going to get an hour and a half or 2 hours of their time one-to-one in everyday life. No. But if you've got a YouTube channel with a decent following and they can see how they can possibly sell or be seen by your audience, it kind of does become like a networking thing. So I have spoke to and interacted with people that I probably never would have if I didn't have a YouTube channel. So the opportunity it opens and the doors it opens is good. You just got to know which ones are good, which ones are bad.
It's almost like that end goal. It's that what it could be. I think so. My YouTube channel, it generates $100 a month now. It broke $100 a month today, which is like for the past year, the infrastructure of equipment, time, editing. You know, my editor who works on the business side, so I'm running a business full time as well. But the doors that it opens, like yourself, we met at the beginning of this year, and there's not many people that would have given, like, you give me the time of the day before we even had a channel, before anything. You invited me and Leanne over here and we got to speak. But like you said, that normally wouldn't happen. So like for it to open doors like you've had and for us to have this conversation, it does breed really good opportunity. And I think as a marketeer, you'll agree that the opportunity that lies away from, so if you just take out AdSense and actually making money on YouTube, the opportunity that breeds beyond that, I think it's pretty massive.
Yeah, that's why I say it's more important to have a real business behind the YouTube thing. So say, for example, now, so a couple of businesses that we've got there, so I invest in different things and stuff like that, and I do a lot of that on the channel, like, here's what I've invested in, this is how much money it makes or loses or whatever. Like, do the good stuff, avoid the bad stuff, don't make the same mistakes I have. But if you think of things like, so we do video content for businesses, we do like lead generation for businesses and stuff like that. Now, 9 times out of 10, those businesses would have seen my content. Oh, I love your Entrepreneur series. I love the Entrepreneur Formula video. Oh, you met Gary Vee. How did that happen? I saw that video. So then they are already used to your content. They know the level of content you can make. So it's already opened doors for them, number one. So we get business from fans is the wrong word, but like they like your work or they've seen your work. So we get that. But imagine if I was just a YouTuber that couldn't upsell or couldn't then work with them businesses. When someone goes, I really like your content, you just go, oh, thanks, I hope you subscribe. Whereas I go, oh, brilliant. If you didn't know, we also make content, lead generation content for businesses. Oh, brilliant. We're thinking of doing some video content. We don't know where to start. Well, here you go. Why don't you come into our studio, because we've got a proper studio. Here's the green screen. This is some of the things. Let us research your niche. Let us do some SEO. So there's real tangible business skills that we use on YouTube, but this is what we do for a living. So that's when we can then upsell to these people. And that's what we do. We get people in there. We help them create content, be seen and stuff like that. So I make more money from my real businesses away from YouTube. And that's why I would say it's only worthwhile if you've got that. Unless you're one of the unicorns. If you're a gamer, gaming channel that can make 10 million a year, or you're a kid that can open blind bags or toys, that's a different ball game. But
I think we're very much aligned on that idea of how it can serve from a business standpoint and marketing material, I found that all my YouTube content and all of the behind the scenes stuff that we've done, that's almost like a positive for when they ask us to come on board to do a job. They're like, oh, are you going to be shooting some behind the scenes stuff? Yeah, that's cool. All right, well, that's a bit more reach for you guys as part of your market material.
But it's a living portfolio of work, really, if you think of it like that. So YouTube is a portfolio of the work that like we can do. So when I film my own podcasts, some people say, oh, I saw that podcast with you and so-and-so the other day. We're thinking of launching a podcast. Well, we can produce it for you. We can film it for you. Do you want to come down and you can be in the same studio that you've seen that content from? So that's kind of why we're on YouTube. But it wasn't why we went on YouTube, if that makes sense. We were doing all that stuff anyway. So
I think it's really clever, and I think it's one thing that's why I like to do this series and speak to other people, is like how opportunity breeds outside of YouTube. A lot of people just want to get on it, become famous, drive a Lamborghini, but it's kind of impossible. And like using it as a live portfolio, like you said, I found that it opens up many doors, and it almost like it breaks down the barrier between potential clients and customers for my business. So they'll pre-sell themselves. They'll watch our live content. They'll decide whether they want to work with us.
Yeah.
So then when they do contact us, we've already broken the ice. They've built a rapport with me on screen without actually speaking to them. So when they do call, it'll be like when they meet you, they'll feel like they know you.
Yeah, but don't you find that a bit strange though? Just when it does happen, because I get it all the time where the way people talk is like they know you, and sometimes it's like you should know them, but it's because they've made comments on your YouTube videos before, and it throws you a little bit. Have you ever been recognised?
No.
So I've had it a couple of times now, which is quite mad because I never ever think of a view on a YouTube video as a real person. I know it's a strange thing to say, but it's hard to get your head around that. And when you sometimes put the numbers into perspective, so I've got a video there, I think it's 600,000 views. Like, imagine being stood in like the middle of a stage and right in the middle of the centre circle and just being surrounded by people all looking at it. That's like the equivalent of what's happened on one of your videos. It's mad when you think of it like that. You might have more subscribers or more views than some professional sports teams or some sort of well-known, athletes or film stars and stuff. When you think of it like that, it's quite unnerving. But I remember the first time I got recognised, and it was kind of a bit like, oh, I don't like this. Yeah. So I find it mad that people would actually want that.
Yeah, we spoke about it. Like, I enjoy making videos. I enjoy the process. I enjoy uploading to. I thoroughly enjoyed the what it takes to make a YouTube video and showcase that and showcase sort of my talent. But I am a bit of an introvert. I'm like what would you say, like an introvert, extrovert?
Yeah, like an extroverted introvert.
Yeah, I don't think that people are going to watch it. Like, I don't want to go to networking events and speak to strangers. Like, I enjoy just making my videos and then going home. Yeah. And everyone that I've met has been very similar. So like Beard Meets Food, he's got, nearly 1.5 million subscribers. And he's very much like to himself. He doesn't go to these big networking YouTuber events. He just makes his videos and goes home. But he'll get recognised all the time. Yeah. And it's just a strange thing. Like, you'd never choose to stand in a stadium of 1 million people.
Do you think YouTubers fall into two categories then? Do you think that there's some that want that more than I just want to be known, I want to be famous, for want of a better phrase. And then there's others that it's like, this is a necessary evil. This is now where I make my money and stuff like that. Because I'll be honest, it can easily become formulaic. And it's like, well, I know if I do this type of content and put this out, it'll get roughly this amount of views. My channel will grow by X amount of subscribers. I can pretty much plot it week for week. I don't enjoy the content that I make anymore.
Really?
I want to move away from it. Yeah. So that's why, obviously, we've done the other stuff today. We've come down and help us set up the new set. We want to go back to doing more of the investing stuff, what makes more money, a bit more grown up. And here's my option B. I've showed you what doesn't work. I've showed you how the scammers get you to buy their bullshit course and how they're going to rip you off. Yeah. But I'm going to now try and show you more of here's what does work and talk more about the business side, still in a humorous way, I like to think. But
I agree with you. I know there's a formula that I could hit if I really want to grow the channel into that little sort of niche of the filmmaker YouTube niche. But I purposely, it bores me to tears. Like, making tutorials, I don't really like it because it's not me. I'd rather have it a little bit more raw like this, have a proper conversation and show people behind the scenes of things. Like, I enjoy vlogging, but not to be a vlogger, just to show certain aspects. So like, from a personal brand standpoint, it's a very professional personal brand. I want to show behind the scenes on sets, doing jobs, because that's stuff that you don't always get to see. Whereas I could just make what everyone else makes, get a bunch more subscribers and just churn it out, but I would just not enjoy it. I'd be same as you. I wouldn't enjoy it.
You said something today that it bothered you that you didn't put a video up last week. So have you?
Yeah, this week.
Oh yeah, coming out this week.
Yeah.
And I was saying, we didn't. Like we've kind of tried to move away from doing, we always upload at this time, because you do then start forcing stuff, or you're putting yourself under pressure, and it's bad for your mental health, one thing, and you're putting yourself under pressure, especially when you've got a real job to do.
Yeah, I think I found like this week for not uploading, I'd set a target this year of I'm going to upload every week, at least once a week. And I've done more than that. I've done like twice, 2-3 times a week. And then this week, because we've done, by the time this comes out, I hope, we will have released a big project with Beard Meets Food. We've come here. We've done so much behind the scenes stuff that's like massive for the channel. I'm having a week off, because you said it's bad for your mental. I'm trying to run a business in a pandemic with staff, do client work. I just having a week off.
I mean, shouldn't say this, but most of your subscribers, that you don't owe them anything. Like, do you know what I mean?
I know what you mean, yeah.
And it's tough sometimes. Like, they would give you shit at the drop of a hat. A lot of people. I mean, read the comments. Or there's probably a silent majority that don't. That don't comment negatively or positively. They watch your content, they like your content, they subscribe. But there's always a vocal minority that gives you loads of shit. You get shit for all sorts. You get shit for having ads on your content. You get, you get shit for what t-shirt you wear, or for not doing something on a video, or for doing something on a video. And it's just, man, when you start thinking that it's not like people are paying to see your content. It's not like like in business, you sign an SLA with a business. When you sign a contract, we will produce X for you on these dates, or we agree to provide you with this service. Yeah. You've not got that in place with any of your subscribers. Yet some will say, you've not uploaded, or you're not posting the type of content I want to watch. Well, stop watching then.
I think your channel would breed more of that, because it's so controversial, is your channel. Like with the content that you're making. Yeah. And at the size that I am now, I only get the odd few. Do you think there's a personal responsibility of a YouTuber or a creator to be ready for negativity? Like, I think as a personal responsibility for somebody to creating content online, you need to be aware that at one point there's going to be a troll that'll creep out from underneath somewhere and post something negative. And it's not nice, but I feel like going into it, you need to be prepared.
I think you need to be prepared, but I don't think it's something that you should have to do.
No.
Because I find it mad anyway. Like, I had never ever left a comment on a YouTube video before having a YouTube channel.
Yeah.
Ever.
Same.
Ever. I've never put a thumbs up on a video. I've never put a thumbs down on a video. Ever. If I didn't like it, I didn't like it.
Yeah.
I'd never felt the need to have to tell someone I don't like this video, or comment on something like what they were wearing, or what they look like, or what they sound like, or whatever. I find that mad, especially when you think that these are probably grown-ups as well.
Yeah.
So you've got to wonder what type of person does that. And I don't mean that in a sort of like, oh, they're all idiots. But it's just like the fact that they are spending their time doing that and like trying to draw out the content creator to argue back with them. It's just like a mad hobby to have. So I think you should expect it, because it 100% will happen. But equally, you shouldn't have to expect it, because you just think people would just be normal.
Yeah.
But the internet is a place where people aren't normal.
No.
And they use that to deliberately try and get a reaction. I get people that say nice things on my videos, and then if they don't get a response or whatever, then start giving you shit. But you can look at what comments they've made on your channel.
Yeah.
They've gone from being a huge fan to then calling you all sorts. All they want is to be acknowledged or a reaction from you. Which is mad, isn't it?
It's strange. I think I've always, like, up until now, I've always seen that the positive very much outweighs the negative.
Yeah.
Would you agree with that? Would you say that the positives of your channel has definitely outweighed the negatives?
Yeah, I mean, even if you want to go on stats, and it sounds proper like ego-driven now, so my channel runs at probably about like a 96% thumbs up rate to thumbs down rate.
Yeah.
My numbers usually, there's one video where it's not like that, and it was because it mentions David Icke, and David Icke's like a divisive person anyway. But pretty much, it's every 1,000 views, between every 500 to 1,000 views gets one thumbs down. That's like my run rate for my channel. But it probably gets 100 thumbs up. Do you know what I mean? But you're hardwired just to look at the negative stuff. But it's online, isn't it?
It is.
Sometimes I just think it's not real life. And that's why it surprises me when I do meet people in real life and they mention YouTube to me.
Yeah.
Obviously, this is different because you've come here to talk about it, but if I was, weirdly, I was in Tesco's in Warrington the other week, and someone actually approached me and said, "Oh, my missus thinks this is proper cringy, but like I love your YouTube channel. Can I get a picture?" Legitimately said this, and I was there with one of the kids.
Yeah.
Like, my little boy thinks it's like brilliant that I'm on YouTube because that's cool to him at school. But he couldn't believe it that like a grown man would want a picture of you for like making a video on YouTube, which is mad. Like stuff like that, it's mad, isn't it?
Do you take it as a compliment though? That I think it's quite complimentary. It's obviously strange, but like it also takes a lot of. There's a fine line.
It's surreal. That's more.
He's obviously a fan and wanted to take a picture with you, and that's pretty cool. Like it's good that you've had that much of an impact on someone in a pretty negative year. To go, actually, it'd be nice to have that as a momentum of this snapshot in time.
What's funny is because I take the piss, I always think they're taking the piss out of me.
Yeah.
Because my channel is like I take the piss out of a lot of funny things that entrepreneurs do.
Yeah.
So when someone says, I always think like, oh, this is a piss take. Like someone asked me if I'd do a birthday message for their friend the other week. Legitimately asked me, and I ignored it at first. And then they come back to me saying like, please, honestly, you don't realise every Friday we tune in to watch one of your videos. Huge fan. It's a birthday at the weekend. Would you please? And I even wrote a script out what he wanted me to say. And I was actually thinking, I'm going to record this and I'm going to end up on someone else's YouTube video, the piss taken out of me. Because I did that to Grant Cardone.
Yeah.
I basically paid Grant Cardone to say a script where I was taking the piss out of him. He filmed it, recorded me, and sent it back to me. So I kind of thought, like, oh, here we go. The shoe's on the other foot now.
Yeah.
But yeah, and I did the video. Happy birthday. Araminta, if you're watching this.
It's good, mate. I think it's positive, and I know there's a lot of negatives around YouTube. But when I meet people, they know that we've met in the past. They know that you've commented on my LinkedIn and my videos, and everyone's very complimentary of what you're doing. And I think you can quite easily get sucked up into the bubble of just creating. So, like in this atmosphere of people and staff, and you just rattle through videos, don't you? You just plan one, execute, next, plan, execute. But you don't realise how much of an impact it's having out in the outside world. And so many people have said to me, just in my networking business, how much it's helped them. You know, seeing anything like, you know, when you're doing the crypto rigs, when you're talking about NLP, you're talking about these absolute con artists, people are watching it and it's like, it's literally opening their eyes because then it's happening in front of them when they see people on stage and they are doing it, but they don't realise it's happening until you've just laid it all out on the table for them and be like, realise it. So you are helping a lot of people.
Did you know that was my actual motivation? It was and it's not like if I could just help one person from being scammed, not like, geez, that it literally was, I can see this, so I'm going to put it out there, and if it stops people getting scammed, but I don't, the misconceptions, I think that all online training is bad or everything's a scam. I don't think them things, because I used to make online training. That was my actual business. But if it helps someone, but what I didn't expect was to get like hundreds of DMs or messages online almost asking me to take up their personal fight to try and recover money for them, or that was what I didn't expect. I didn't think I'd get that. And then when you try and explain to people, I can't help your gran that spent £21,000 with 6 different gurus who lives in America. I don't know the American legal system. I don't know who your gran is. I don't even know 3 of the people that you've mentioned there. Yeah. And when I say you're probably better off speaking to a solicitor or a lawyer in your own country that might be able to help you, and then they go, oh, you're a prick. You're here meant to be helping people like us. No, I never said that. Yeah. Like, I'm just a content creator that's filming my experiences, and you can either relate to it or not. I'm not making this content for you. Yeah. I'm making this content for myself, of my own experiences, what I see, what I hear, and hopefully you can take something from it and it can benefit you. But, you know, I didn't set this up to become like a sort of vigilante legal person that's going to recover all your money if you've been scammed. But the one that actually did have the biggest impact, which I was quite worried about going out. So I did an interview with a guy called Paul Woods in Warrington, who has got a podcast called The Oddball. He had his testicle crushed in a grand final. Had it removed. He plays rugby league. Anyway, and we ended up talking weirdly about mental health, selling the business, having loads of time on your hand and nothing to do and stuff like that. And I was just saying like how I struggled a little bit because I like to be busy. Yeah. Like, I've always got to be doing something. And I struggled just like when I sold my business, like adjusting to not having to go into work for a while. It's quite can be a bit dark, a bit of a slippery slope. And I ended up talking about my experiences there and saying that sometimes I'd be in the shower and I'd be running through arguments in my head with people that I've not even seen for years and stuff like that. And the amount of messages I got from that content, and it's nothing like the content that I put out on my channel. Yeah. And it was just, you've articulated in such a way that I could relate to it. I have similar experiences. I've been through a sale myself. I can't talk to my friends about money anymore because I sound like a dick. And all these different types of things. That really surprised me, that a bit of content that you can put out on YouTube could have an impact on people. Like that really, it's not got many views, but the views that it's had, it's nearly 2 hours long, but the views that it's had, a lot of people have been in touch with me saying like, oh, it's made me realise that I'm not on my own feeling like this and stuff like that. So it's interesting.
I watched that podcast. I watched it all. Like I thoroughly enjoyed it. And it were good because people see you as Mike Winnet, the entrepreneur guy, making these like fun, like upbeat pieces of content, just ripping into all these entrepreneurs, you know, every week. But not many people, like, it's obviously your name's not Mike Winnet, it's Mike, but your last name's not Winnet. So people don't know who, it's almost like an alias, and it's like it's like an act as such. It's like a person. So to see the real person behind that, I think that's what will resonate with so many people. And you spoke about so much real stuff as well. Like it was powerful, and it takes a lot to put your heart on your sleeve and actually say that. But the amount of people that it would have helped as well. Because it's been a rough year, you know, like for you to open up about that. It's like anything with mental health. It's just, or anything, you know, just blokes talking about the feelings.
Do you know what's funny about that though? And I said this to Paul since it's gone out. I'd had a shit week. So if he had caught me the week before or the week after, I probably wouldn't have spoke about any things. But you know, it just at that moment, I'd had a tough like week where I wasn't feeling too well. And also, we filmed it in here after hours. Right. So there was no one else in the studio. So it was dark. So the whole vibe was like, because now out here we've got like video editors doing stuff, we've got graphic designers doing stuff, we've got copywriters writing copy for different people and stuff like that. So it's like a busy office. So I'm not going to say there saying like, oh, do you know what? I was left to my own devices and thought about topping myself and stuff like that. Yeah. Imagine saying that in front of all like everyone that you work with. You come out the studio and everyone thinking, Jesus, is he going to jump out the window or something? But when you're on your own and you're talking to someone, you kind of forget the cameras are, it's dark outside and it's late and you've had a bit of a shit time. I was more just speaking out loud and getting things off my chest rather than thinking, shit, this is going to go out as a video. And then when it came out, I was actually shitting myself. Yeah, legitimately thinking, especially because I talk about arguments that I've had with people that used to live next door but one to me and people that used to go on the school run, and they 100%
we'll know it's them.
We'll know it's them because they know that conversation happened. Or who I went on holiday with when a certain conversation happened and stuff like that. So, and I was actually thinking, shit, they probably will watch it. And because Paul's from Warrington as well. Well, he played for Warrington. And it's like the localist local podcast you're ever going to get. So the only people that are probably going to listen to it from around here. So they'll be thinking, I know where he used to live. I know what bar he's talking about. So I was a bit nervous about it coming out. But yeah, that was probably quite far removed from the normal content I'd make, but that was the one that's probably made the biggest impact in terms of the types of messages I would get. No one's giving me shit for that, and that's got no thumbs down if you judge your content by that.
I think I thought it was fascinating. I really enjoyed that podcast, and it gave an insight into you, because I mean, when we came to see you at the beginning of the year, you see you online. Like that's why I enjoy this style of content as well. So like a little bit of a longer form, behind the scenes of YouTubers. Let's get a vibe for what they're really like. It gives people an insight. You are a human. That's the main thing with online content. People don't think you're human. You know, when people are commenting bad comments, you know, they just see that highlight reel of 8-minute videos that's class, well edited, put together, thrown out there, and they're just like, right, we can give him money here. But this humanises everything.
Well, the one I got this week was, I've got a head like a butternut squash. So that was one comment. So I'm a vegetable, not a human. And the other one is bum chin. I get that on every single fucking video.
You've got a beard. You can't
even see it now. That's why I'm growing one.
Well, so finally then, to wrap it up, what does the future hold for your channel, for the Mike Winnet YouTube channel? Like, what do you see it looking like in the next 12 months?
So change of direction really now. I want to go back to, I was making the Get Rich or Die Buying series, which I really liked.
I love that.
A bit longer content, like sort of 16 to 20 minutes in length. And it was, I would go and, you know, what is crypto mining? I'd go and find out what it was. I would go and find a guru. I would then go and buy an actual crypto mining rig, and then I would mine with that rig and I would reveal my results. I want to get back to that content, and I want to sort of pick 10 things that everyday people might be tempted by. So you might be tempted by doing match betting, by doing Forex trading, by doing opening up an e-commerce store and doing all these types of things. And I will basically run each passive income on a different sort of vertical. So it'd be like, here's my Forex one, and I might go, what is it? So I'll explain what it is, what course did I do, which guru did I follow, show the actual graph, what I did, if I won, if I lost, my wins, my losses, if I made profit or whatever. Then I'm going to go and get a guru that actually does it full time and is an expert in that field to come back and review everything that we've done. Tell us if the course that we bought was bullshit. Tell us if it was a entrepreneur and not a real success story. Tell us where we went wrong. Tell us where we could have done it better, and explain to us how he makes a full-time living off it. So it's going to be a far more comprehensive look at passive income. And we'll still do a few entrepreneur bingos, but that's going to be the main focus for the channel. And I don't want to say everything's a scam. I want to hopefully win some next year, because I lost a lot of money on stupid stuff the last 12 months. So.
Really?
Yeah.
Did you say how much you've lost on your entrepreneur scams?
In total, 500,000's gone into it. But not all of that's lost, because some of it's in assets. So I've still got stocks and shares. I've still got some of the properties that we bought for the series. I've still got some of the assets and stuff like that. But, it's none of it has made any money anywhere near the level of money that was promised by the guru that was on stage telling me to buy their discounted course. Not one thing's got anywhere near those figures. And I'm not someone that sat in my bedroom and never ran a business before and don't know what I'm doing. I've got some sort of business skills and some sort of knowledge and how to make a business work. Yeah. So you would think I could run a mildly successful dropshipping business or affiliate marketing business, but
you're like a vigilante. You're like Warrington's Batman, aren't you? It's you are like you're doing a service. It is genuinely a service for people to try. If people want to
donate to help me fund it, by all means, click the link in the description.
There's a Patreon below. Yeah. Mate, honestly, thank you very much. Thank you for your hospitality today. We've filmed a couple of pieces of content in here. But anybody that's watching it, which camera are we on? Main camera. Anybody that's watched that and enjoyed it, check out Mike's channel. It's unbelievable. I'm a massive fan of the work of you and your team. And we'll put a link in the description at the end of the video. But thank you very much, mate.
And don't forget to subscribe to make me lots of monies.